AI-generated models can be awesome, ugly, or really anything in between. One thing they all tend to have in common is that their wireframe geometry consists of delicious mesh soup. I have tested all the different Retopo tiers in 3D AI Studio, and at the end you should be able to decide which tier fits your needs and your specific workflow. This video is a paid partnership with 3D AI Studio. So why do we even remesh? 1. Your wireframe is chaotic or uneven. 2. You plan to edit, animate, or bring into any other software. Or 3. The file as it is just a little bit too heavy to work with. Okay, here's the quick map. If you want the fastest baseline pass, choose base. The best all-rounder, choose Prism. If you want stricter control over your polycount and trees versus quads, you can use Pro. And often the nicest topology, but you sacrifice materials, is Hunyuan. Of course, we can use the Retopo function to change the file type. You'll have to choose the file type you need for your workflow. GLB is pretty universal, FBX is best for gaming, and STL for 3D printing. In this video, I have focused on the topology and materials, which are not dependent on the specific file type. What are the quality criteria? I'm judging each mode by 5 things. The face count, the topology flow, if there are any holes or artifacts, if the material is okay or even there, and how much cleanup would be needed. I tested every tier on 3 asset types: our medieval doggo, the cat lady, and a sweet as a hard surface example. Starting with base. It's quick, it's free, and it's a good baseline. But in my tests, it gives consistently the weakest results. There is no clear edge flow, and even for very clearly defined hard surface models, the edges are all over the place. The face target count didn't really work for me. A 30K target resulted in 390K faces. So fine for rough exports and quick prototype work. Or if you don't care about topology at all, like for 3D printing. But it's not really something you want to edit further. Next is Prism. And this is the most reliable all-rounder in my tests. It tends to preserve the original look best, it works across a high range of polycounts, and it gives the most stable, usable results across different models. If you're unsure, just go with Prism. You won't regret it, probably. Regarding polycount, of course, the right number of polygons depends entirely on the model. With very low face target counts, artifacts appeared on the doggo. 8K, however, seemed like a good sweet spot. And here's a 10K result for the cat lady, compared to 40K. And finally, the lollipop with 5K. We could still dissolve a lot of edge loops here. Rule of thumb, go as low as you can without breaking your silhouette or losing key details. Now let's go Pro. Geometry-wise, Pro can look really good and it gives you real control. Especially when you need a fixed polycount budget and you want trees versus quads on purpose. But I also saw quite some visual artifacts here, and I ran into some weird UV bugs depending on the model and output format. If you set the target face count very low, it can produce holes. On Cat Lady and the Lollipop, the FBX format gave me a pretty nasty UV misalignment. The texture didn't line up correctly at all. It looks as if the AI really tried, but it just didn't manage to fit them properly on top of each other. GLB looked visually correct. And after merging a lot of doubles, I also didn't have any non-manifold issues anymore. So Pro is powerful, but you definitely need to check your output. And then there's Hunyuan. It's really a bit of a plot twist. In my tests, it really preserved the geometry exceptionally well. And it gave me edge flow that really adhered to the shapes of the material. Both organic and hard surface models look great. But unfortunately, it also frequently created holes and non-manifold issues. And on Cat Lady, it even produced a really weird geometry artifact and many holes. Currently it's in beta, so be aware that all the materials get dropped. But I'm really looking forward to when the Hunyuan remesh function comes with materials. For Hunyuan, I really like the default reduction settings. It gave me the best balance between definition and clarity. But high reduction really gave the model a super clear definition of the shapes, so I think it's worth checking that one out. Same polycount, different reduction settings. No matter which tier you use, assume that you might need a quick Blender cleanup ritual. Select the non-manifolds to reveal holes and broken borders or possible doubles, and fill obvious holes if needed. If you suspect double vertices, select all and M for merge by distance, because many of the remesh tiers seem to reliably produce doubles. It's a 30-second check that reveals many of the potential problems that can bite you later. Alright, let's do a quick recap. Prism, definitely my recommendation. It's not too expensive and it really gives reliably good results. Pro, when you need tight control, but check the exports. And, at least in my example, I don't think it is worth paying that much more for Pro in comparison to Prism, if you don't need the specific Pro functions. Hunyuan, for now, when keeping the topology matters more than keeping materials, but watch out for that update. I'm sure it's going to be cool. And base, well, it's free. So if you just need a quick downsize, go for base. But don't expect wonders here. So, remesh isn't magic, but choosing the right tier can make your work less painful and more fun. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.